going live. Hello, everyone. Nation, he's my Brazilian friend here. So, so keep in mind, guys. He doesn't like speak like English. Like he does know how to speak it well, but he does have like an accent though. It sounds nice. He hates cucks just like us. All right, so introduce yourself.
I didn't even realize you were live actually. But good night. Yeah, you should have told me first. But okay.
Yeah, it's so yeah, his name is Danilo, and we're gonna be discussing socialist Brazil. So how's Brazil in terms of economics?
Um, we're in economic crisis. We're like in recession. For the late years, government policies on economics, um, and it's like a big inflation, prices raising, and many business failing, and unemployment, crime rates. Uh, it's going a mess actually, and the government instead of um, do something to, how can I say, um, make movement in the economy. So they raise taxes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they raise taxes all the time.
and we have already a big amount of taxes, and the return, the services are very, very low quality, like healthcare and education. Like everything is from the government. It's allowed, of course, it's allowed the private sector, but still, it's a very
Yeah, I'm like, will you consider Brazil to be socialist? Because I've heard some dumb Marxists say that that it's not socialist, but it's capitalist. Would you consider it to be socialist?
well. We're not socialist like Cuba or North Korea or even Venezuela, not yet. But we have a market system, but under a socialist party of government and many socialist ideas. Actually, there is the most dangerous things. I think is going in not only Brazil but whole Latin America. It's how there is a plan of name. Let me use Google Translator. Wait.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fine.
there is an institution called São Paulo Forum. You know, it's an organization founded in 1990 for Fidel Castro,
Yeah,
Lula, or former president, and Hugo Chavez. Um, and their plan it's like to install a kind of Soviet Union in Latin America. It's like a global socialist and socialist Latin America.
is
And
it kind of like the EU?
what? Sorry.
Is it kind of like the EU, the European Union?
No, not exactly. It's like it's not hidden, but it's not public.
Yeah.
You can find their documents on internet or something, but it's not something they go to the media. It's not something that people knows. You can access the documents, and they make new reunions every year, and their goals were to put leftist um, presidents and power, and control the Latin American countries, especially South America. And Brazil, it was like the leader of that plan. And since then, they could reach many countries in South America, almost every country, with the except of Colombia. And actually, they have lost Paraguay, Argentina, and probably and hopefully we lost Brazil too, since our government it's very with a very low popularity because of many corruption scandals. Like and even yesterday was a good day, even because they found many evidence of corruption to incriminate our current president Dilma and the former president Lula, which is the leader of the party, and they are in the power since 2002. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you know how you brought up earlier about massive inflation in Brazil? Tell them about that time when you said that the PS4s came out, and how much did it cost?
Yeah, you know, on that time, currency was even better to us actually. For example, now it's about $1 to four reals, and back then it was like 1 for 2 when I've been in Detroit in December 2013, and the PS4 was just released. In Brazil, it was costing. In the United States, it was costing like $400, and here it was 4,000 reals. It would be like $2,000. Like for one PS4 bought in Brazil, you could buy five in the United States.
Yeah, but buying like one PS4 over there will be equivalent to buying 5 here in the United States.
What? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
No, like so, like hold up. So like buying like one PS4 in Brazil will be equivalent to buying 5 here in the United States.
Yeah, it seems crazy because when I've been there, many people told me, "Well, it's not cheap." For me, it was very, very cheap, and actually, many people use it to go to the United States just to buy things, mainly electronics, like video games, cameras, cell phones, everything, because the prices was has a very big difference, and still. The dollar is very high now, but it keeps being more expensive. It keeps being cheaper to buy in United States than buy in Brazil. Very cheaper, much cheaper. And for example, clothes. Clothes in general are especially fancy clothes. Many people go to the United States to buy it because it's the price difference. It's so absurd. For example, I've been there and I've bought it's like a sweater, a very warm sweater that I wouldn't even find in Brazil. Of course, it's like a climate issue, but I paid $20. In Brazil, if we had a sweater like that, it would be an absurd price. Just an example, many things in general. With the except of mainly like services like maids or such things. With this exception, Brazil has everything more expensive than the United States.
Uh, do you think Brazil could get better if it were to move to a free market?
Yeah, I think so because we have many taxes, and it's not only taxes on the business, but too much regulation, you know. Um, and you have a problem on the justice of like here, the way they judge things, you know, and the laws about this. It
Yeah,
strokes, you know, let me- it suffocates the market, you know. It's not only taxes; it's a matter of
yeah,
big regulation. I think it's even a bigger problem than taxes. And
yeah,
like in Brazil, we have we don't have a business future like in the United States. We have actually a big public jobs future. You know, everyone wants to get a government job or something because you cannot get fired only if you it's very difficult to get fired from a government job. You have to make very serious things, and even though the process will extend for a long time. Um, for example, my father did work in a government university, a public university, and he was
yeah,
telling me, for example, there is a worker to clean the ground, and my father is chemical, and when they were using the desk, and after using it, they asked it to for the worker to clean the desk, and he said, "No, my job is cleaning the ground, not the desk." So they had to open um, a new public contest
yeah.
just to hire a worker to clean the desk,
What the
and
hell?
it happens a lot. Yeah, it's true. It happens a lot in Brazil. It's a big problem because you say many people. I see many people saying that the problem of education in Brazil is that we don't have enough investments, enough funding,
Yeah,
and but it's not true. Actually, you have a big investment of the government. We have a lot of money put in education, but this money goes to the garbage because there are many useless things to fund. There is a big corruption, um, and by the way, like I said, many workers that should do more instead of hiring many with great salaries, and you know um, it's actually it suffocates the education. For example, in my university, more than 100% of the income of which means it's in a big debt. It goes to only to workers' salaries. More than
yeah.
100%.
Uh,
So
yeah. It's, what other question should I ask? So what brought
what?
you to like the right?
Sorry, the sound has cut a little.
Oh yeah, sorry, my internet. Could you hear me right now?
Yeah,
The right,
the
the right
right.
wing.
Oh yeah. For many years, till some 5 years ago, that it's when we had um, born right wing, or right wing was like the center left. It was like the Democratic Party would be the right wing in Brazil, and
Oh.
they are very aligned actually. If you see the comments of those people, of those politicians on American politics, it's like praising Democratic Party all the time, and like it's like for Brazil, even if you see Brazilian commentators on American politics, it's like Democrats are the enlightened people, and the Republican are KKK Nazis. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's absurd. Okay, I sorry, I changed a little the subject. But back into Brazilian politics, um, or right wing, like I said, it's the social democracy. Right wing, of course, and center left. From some years to now, we have some conservative politicians starting to talk, some deputies, mainly on the evangelical, uh, how can I say, um,
Like what's the word you're looking
evangelical
for?
stand. I
Oh
don't know but their part on the Congress, you know, and a deputy named Bolsonaro, which is very right wing. He's uh, a military, and he's very good actually. He's the one making opposition to the government, because our social democrats are in the opposition, but their opposition are like it's almost nothing, you know.
yeah.
You just said I just said about their views on American politics. Just remind me, some years ago on 2008 election on the United States.
Yeah.
I was watching the TV on the biggest, on the most respectable channel, big channel in Brazil, and the commentators were saying about the choice of Sarah Palin to the vice president of McCain, and they were like, "Wow, it's very surprising because uh, they call it a woman, and it's a clear movement of open the Republican Party. Who knows? In 50 years, they call a black guy to the let them enter in the Republican Party. It's just like what you had.
Yeah, it's because yeah, the Democrats are racist though, are still the racist party even till this day.
No, yeah. And you have, for example, Condoleezza Rice was black and was woman, and was Secretary of State of Bush government for many years, and they still thinking that Republicans ban black people from the party. It's like it's
Yeah, it's kind of like what my friend says. It's like leftists seem to hate it when like minorities tend to think for themselves.
yeah.
Like, would you consider most of the leftists in Brazil to be very racist?
Yeah. Oh, well, they're like, well, it depends when you say the leftists, because there are many kinds of them, but they have many programs of um, racial quotas, you know, on universities, on jobs, and
Yeah,
I think it's of course their alleged policy. It's like to make inclusion of those people, which are more poor people, to the market and everything. And but actually, it's like it's very populist, you know, like
Yeah,
and actually they don't really can reach the support of the black people. It's not like I've seen in the United States about 90% of black people votes for Democrat. It's not really like that, even because Brazilian people are very mixed.
yeah,
And so there is no actually ethnic division. It's like more regional or by income. And
yeah. So it's pretty much like rich scum or something like that. Like they tend to hate you by income.
yeah, kind of. But actually, people who vote for the left-wing parties are not
Yeah,
left-wing with themselves. It's like people are still conservative, still against abortion, gay marriage, and uh, for therefore enforcement of penal law in Brazil, and everything the left is against. But it's like they are deceived. For example, on abortion, the left-wing parties in the election, they pretend to be pro-life. They always say, I'm not pro-abortion. I don't defend this." But when they get elected, they do everything they can to legalize abortion. It's how it works in Brazil, and people still voting because they don't seek what the guy they elected is doing on the Congress, you know. And even because in Brazil election voting it's obligatory, you know, so
yeah.
many people just don't care. They're like, I'm voting for this one. It won't actually change my life. It happens
Yeah,
a lot. But what the government does it's, for example, uh, uh, putting a lot of welfare to poor people, so they vote for them. But even if they don't agree with the main things, they still voting because they have fear of losing the benefits and the welfare. And it's actually a big taboo. For example, no right-wing politician can go and say, "I went the welfares." It's like um, you cannot imagine it. Imagine in Brazil, it it's happening.
yeah. How are the gun laws in Brazil? Since I heard you guys are like the murder capital, because I live here in Chicago, where I live in the murder capital of the U.S. But how is like the gun laws over there in Brazil?
They're very strict, and it's almost impossible to have a gun here. You have to register and pay some taxes. You have to make many tests, like psychological tests, and you have to I don't know how to say, but um, you have to make a course about how to shoot. There's many little things I don't really know. I don't really know, but it's very difficult, and you can only let your gun on your house. You cannot if you buy it. Uh, I know only few people who has a gun. It's very biggest part of the population not not even dreams about it. You know,
Yeah,
nobody has guns in Brazil.
damn. That's what if they were to legalize guns or like make the laws a little less stricter, do you think the crime rate will go down?
Yeah, of course. There is a plan, some um, law projects to flexibilize, to make more flexible the gun laws, and I think it's a good thing because um, there are actually many invasions of houses in Brazil by bandits, and if they know you have a gun, it's more probable the probability of them entering your house it's much lower. Uh, they it's like when you know everything, everyone. It's like nobody has a gun, and you're a bandit. You have a gun, and it comes legally. You are free to do everything. You can go to a bank or a market, and nobody will have how to defend themselves. And even if you call the police, they take many hours to go to your house. So it's a big problem. Crime rate is the biggest Brazilian problem, no doubt. Even because our laws are um, uh, very weak, you know, penal law.
Yeah. Yeah, because like here in Chicago, I also live in the murder capital. That's what you and I have in common. We both Caprica and I live in the murder capital in the U.S.
Yeah, but actually, at least in the United States, you have a good penal system. I think each state can make their own laws, right? Down there, Ethan. I think his internet has gone down. Okay, are you back?
Well, hello. Yeah. No. All right. The stream has ended. Yeah. It was all right. It's still live right now. So as I was saying, like guns here where I live in Chicago, our crime rate started to go down a little. It's since you live in the murder capital of South America, I live in the murder capital of all the United States.
Actually, only one country is more violent than Brazil, and it's Venezuela.
Now becoming a country. It's now become the murder and rape capital. So you hear that, socialist? What are you guys saying?
The sound is cutting.
Wait,
Hey,
can you hear me?
now I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so like socialists, you know how socialists like to brag about Venezuela? Venezuela is socialist as hell, and they're the murder and rape capital. And on top of that, all the food shortages. Do you think Brazil could become like Venezuela?
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's not gonna happen because, like I said, Venezuela they did everything right. I mean, right in accurate with their plans to reach the power and install that system. And actually, our president said many times Venezuela is an example for Brazil, many times. And even they don't have even paper, like, wait, toilet paper. They don't have even toilet papers, and it's an example to Brazil. But their corruption scandals were discovered, and it's still going on. We have an impeachment process going on against our president, and people are hating their governments now. And I think I'm a little optimistic in Brazil, actually, at least for like having a new government, something better. I don't think it will become like a paradise, but at least getting somehow better.
Yeah, better than how it is currently.
What? Sorry?
Better than how it is at the moment, right?
Yeah. Of course. And
Hello, sorry, my all right. Hold up. Now we're gonna end this stream.